I'm gonna share with you guys the 6 best practices to staying healthy and fit for the long haul. And then these specific practices go beyond the typical physical activity because we know that's important to living a more healthier and longer lifestyle. But there's specifically other powerful tools to help keep your body, mind, and spirit in line and just as powerful. These specific techniques have been used for centuries on end, and I personally use them as well. I've seen others utilize them, and it made a huge overall impact on their life, their mental state, and their physical activity level. And they all made a huge impact in my life and millions of other people's lives, and probably even yours if you implement them correctly. Now, before I get into the 6 best practices, understand some of these are some of the most controversial topics in the scientific community. And that's okay, because sometimes science isn't always meant to give us a definitive truth, but rather to accept or reject ideas based on the current evidence that we have. And when the evidence isn't entirely there, or there's just not enough humans studied on, it doesn't mean it doesn't work. It could just mean we just don't have enough clear, concise data on it. But we also must trust ourselves and what we believe intuitively is right as well. So let's dive into the 6 non-negotiable best practices you need to stay healthy physically and mentally. As a side note, this is not medical advice, so make sure you consult your doctor or local dietitian before trying anything new. This first practice is by far one of the most important and one that gets overlooked the most. Now imagine you're in a small room or small building designed to provide heat sessions for relaxation and health benefits. The heat inside is typically dry or wet, just depending on what you use. You're under deliberate heat exposure for a certain amount of time, and some of the benefits are going to include increased heart rate, increased plasma volume, release of endorphins, the feel-good chemical reactions in your brain, a reduction in all-cause mortality, diseases, and cardiovascular risk. Exactly what you think I'm referring to. It's the typical sauna. And there's specifically one study that caught my eye, and they found that regular sauna use had cardiovascular benefits that just exceeded cardiovascular exercise alone. And if that doesn't say much, I don't know what else does. So saunas are very, very powerful. I specifically prefer the infrared saunas just because all those photon lights, I believe, just penetrate deeper into your tissues and your skin, which can help detoxify your body and overall cardiovascular risk and overall your cardiovascular health. Like I said, a lot of these are very controversial, but when I do an infrared sauna, I notice a complete difference in me physically and mentally. And Dr. Rhonda Patrick talks extensively about the benefits of the sauna. And if you want to dive deeper into the science, show her right up here, one of the best sources to check out. But even with the most robust sauna protocols that you keep doing every single day, there's still one practice that people completely neglect and could make a difference. You know, as we get older, our stress is just gonna naturally increase. And that's just gonna be based around our family life, our work life, bills, the kids, loans, schooling, and it's just gonna keep piling more and more on top of us as we get older. And over time, that stress can lead to anxiety, can lead to burnout, and even depression for some people. But here's the kicker: meditation can possibly help. Going back to Dr. Rhonda Patrick, she was interviewed during the Joe Rogan podcast not too long ago. She talked about a study where people who meditated on a regular basis for decades, and the results were pretty crazy. This specific study was around older people, and when they looked at their brains, they didn't think it was possible. These individuals showed slower cognitive decline, and their brains looked 25 years younger. Imagine that. Just because you meditate for just a few minutes each day, it can possibly slow down that brain aging process, which I know we all probably want in our lives. So the way I implement this, I make it a daily habit to meditate at least 10 to 20 minutes in the morning. After breakfast, I'll just sit on the floor, just keep my back straight, focus on my breath while either listening to calming instrumental music or no music at all. And whenever ideas come to your mind, you can either let it flow. Possibly some of your best ideas could come from the meditation itself. If you're new to meditation and you want to take it to the next level, I'm going to highly recommend to this book, Opening the Channel. One of the best guides to improving focus and meditation efficiently and effectively. So definitely give it a check. This next step I'm about to show with you is possibly the most disregarded step of them all, and yet one that drives the most results. It's an ancient practice that's been used in traditional Chinese medicine for years, and it was used to treat a good amount of health concerns. So the benefits included pain relief, stress reduction, better sleep, a boost in immunity, and this ancient practice was, as we all know it, described as acupuncture. So there was a large meta-analysis. Over 170 studies were included, 29 randomized controlled trials were included, over 17,000 patients. It showed that acupuncture was more beneficial than having no treatments at all. It had similar effects to conventional treatments like chronic pain conditions, including back pain, osteoarthritis, and migraines. But it's important to note that more research is needed in a lot of these fields to understand the long-term health effects of acupuncture itself. But I found it to be incredibly effective for pain management, stress reduction, and improvement in my sleep. That will be placed in one of the top ones in this list. But even when you include acupuncture, there's still a crucial element that most people overlook. And it's one thing that can completely change the game for you. It's another ancient practice that still gets generally used today. It involves creating suctions on your skin with cups, which can be either heated or they use mechanical pumps too, I believe. It's became really popular in the recent years, but it's been around for thousands of years. So what you're gonna get from it is pain relief, improved circulation, detoxification, stress relief, improved skin health. Now, I'm always a firm believer that you have specific organs like your kidneys and liver that can detoxify your body, but this goes a little further past that. And I still use this to this day. There's a specific study from the Cochrane Library that supported cupping and its effectiveness. And the effectiveness was for pain relief with osteoporosis, with osteoarthritis, fibromyalgia. So cupping to this day, I still implement every few months. I'll get it done on my back, on my legs, wherever I think I need the most improvement or I get the most pain from. But what if I told you even once you start utilizing cupping, this one step can possibly help you prolong a lot of pain in your life? I'm talking about helping you reduce chronic back pain, neck pain and headaches, improve posture and flexibility, possibly sports injury prevention, and better sleep and reduction of stress. And the specific treatment and study I'm gonna refer to is chiropractic care. Now, back in 2012, there was a study found that the specific chiropractic care helped athletes recover a little bit faster than other treatments they used in the past. So same ideology applies to the cupping that it does to the chiropractic care. This is definitely one best practice that I use till in my daily day. If you don't have any back pain, you have nothing to worry about. But if you want to prolong or reduce it, this can possibly be one strategy you can use to help live a longer and healthier lifestyle. And I'll tell you this, if you have back pain, it is extremely hard to come back from 100% care for it. It's not like a shoulder injury. It's not like a knee injury. If you mess up your back, it's gonna take you a while to come back from. And to come back 100% is even harder. This next practice is last, but it's the most viable and detrimental and shouldn't go unnoticed. Now, I don't use it personally, but I've known a lot of individuals that use it and the amount of success they had from it. It's gonna give you a safe space to talk openly, helping you feel heard and understood without any bias. It's gonna teach you ways to manage stress, anxiety, and help you develop healthier coping strategies in your life. It's a good tool for gaining self-awareness. It's gonna really help you stay in the present moment, which I believe most people need, improve your relationship with others and your understanding of your own thoughts and your own actions. And if you're dealing with mental health challenges like depression, anxiety, or trauma, therapy is gonna help you build and heal resilience. I've seen it work wonders on a lot of people I'm close to, a lot of family members, a lot of friend members, and I'm specifically talking about all the benefits for mental and emotional health. And if you're thinking about starting therapy, think about talking to somebody without any bias, because they won't judge you for what you have to say. They have an open ear and an open mind, which is very important because they're just gonna tell you how it is with your life and how you can navigate through it and just become your best self in the best possible way they can. So these 6 best practices are my go-to for staying healthy and fit for the long haul. And I've used these for years on end now. And if you want to be on your way to being better than 99% of the population, I simplified it to 12 easy steps. It's right up here. I'll see you in the next video.